My friends, life will always give us opportunities to be angry, frustrated, or upset. People will cut us off in traffic. Some will speak unfairly. Others may not appreciate us. But the real question is, will you allow them to control your emotions? Or will you take back the power? Mastering your emotions is the very foundation of personal strength. Think about it. Life is a series of unpredictable events. Someone may say something you didn't expect. Circumstances may not go your way. You may even be treated unfairly. But here's the truth. You can't always control what happens around you. But you can always control what happens within you. That's the difference between the person who loses their temper at every small inconvenience and the one who remains steady no matter the storm. The danger of not mastering your emotions is that they begin to master you. Anger takes the wheel and suddenly you're not in charge anymore. And once you're no longer in charge, you'll say things you don't mean. You'll make decisions you regret. And you'll waste precious energy that could have been invested in growth. Emotions are like fire. Left uncontrolled, they burn down everything in their path. But controlled, fire can warm your house, cook your meal, and light your way. The same is true with your emotions. Control them, and they become a tool for power. Lose control, and they become your downfall. No one else should have the power to dictate your emotional state. If someone can make you angry in a second, it means you've handed them the keys to your peace. Why would you give anyone that kind of authority over you? The person who truly wins in life is not the one who reacts the fastest, but the one who responds with wisdom. That requires self-discipline. That requires patience. That requires a commitment to say, "No one else will decide how I feel today except me." When you master your emotions, you earn respect from others and from yourself. People admire the man or woman who doesn't lose their cool under pressure, who can keep composure when everyone else is losing theirs. But more importantly, you admire yourself. You look in the mirror and say, "I didn't let anger take me over today. I stayed in control." That's the highest victory you can achieve. Victory over self. So, don't just manage your emotions, master them. Build the habit of pausing before reacting. Build the strength to let go instead of lashing out. Build the discipline to keep your peace when someone tries to disturb it. Because when you master your emotions, you master your life. One of the greatest lessons you'll ever learn is this: people act from who they are, not from who you are. Their words, their behavior, their treatment of you. It's not about you, it's about them. If someone is rude, it doesn't mean you're unworthy. It means they lack manners. If someone lies, it doesn't mean you can't be trusted. It means they lack integrity. If someone belittles you, it doesn't mean you're small. It means they're insecure. Their actions are a reflection of their own character, not a judgment on your value. But here's the trap most people fall into. They take it personally. They think, "Why did he say that to me? Why did she treat me like this?" And suddenly, they allow the behavior of another person to poison their peace. Yet, wisdom says, don't take ownership of someone else's flaws. You are not responsible for the storms inside their heart. You are only responsible for how you respond. Jim Rohn used to say, "Let the other man be small if he chooses, but you be big." That means you don't have to lower your standards just because someone else lowered theirs. If a person acts bitter, you don't have to be bitter back. If they spread negativity, you don't have to absorb it. Your dignity is not for sale at the price of someone's immaturity. When you realize this truth, you stop being reactive and you start living with freedom. Here's another way to see it. People are like mirrors, but not all mirrors reflect the truth clearly. Some are cracked, some are dirty, some are warped. If you look into a broken mirror and see a distorted image of yourself, Would you believe it? Of course not. So why would you let the distorted behavior of someone else define who you are? The clear mirror is within. You know your values, your worth, your character. Stand on that. The moment you stop expecting everyone to act according to your standards, you set yourself free. Not everyone will be kind. Not everyone will be honest. Not everyone will be fair, and that's fine. Let them act from who they are. But you, my friend, act from who you are. Choose to be calm when they are chaotic. Choose to be respectful when they are disrespectful. Choose to be strong when they are weak. That's how you rise above being bothered. By remembering their behavior reveals them, not you. Most of the frustration we feel toward people comes from judgment. We judge their words, their tone, their choices. And then we get angry because they didn't act the way we expected. But here's the truth. Judgment fuels irritation, while understanding dissolves it. When you choose to understand instead of judge, you take away anger's oxygen. Think about it. When someone cuts you off in traffic, your first thought might be, "What a reckless person." That judgment instantly creates anger. But what if you asked, maybe they're rushing to the hospital. Maybe they're late for something important. Whether or not that's true doesn't matter. What matters is that your perspective shifts from hostility to curiosity. Understanding creates space for peace. Human beings are complicated. Everyone carries unseen burdens: stress, fear, insecurity, pain. Many people act out of those hidden struggles. A sharp word may come not from hatred, but from exhaustion. A careless mistake may come not from disrespect, but from distraction. When you recognize that people often act from their own battles, you stop taking their actions so personally. You realize it's not an attack. It's just a reflection of what they're going through. Now, let's be clear. Understanding does not mean excusing. If someone lies, it's still a lie. If someone is cruel, it's still cruelty. But instead of wasting energy being furious, you can calmly acknowledge, this is who they are right now. And with that clarity, you gain the wisdom to respond intelligently rather than emotionally. It's easy to judge. Anyone can say, how could they do that? But it takes wisdom to ask, I wonder why they did that. That single shift changes everything. Judgment builds walls. Understanding builds bridges. Judgment hardens your heart. Understanding softens it. Judgment blinds you to the truth. Understanding helps you see it clearly. When you start trading judgment for understanding, you begin to see people not as enemies to fight, but as human beings to learn from. And that keeps your mind calm and your spirit free. The wise don't waste their days being angry at people. They invest their energy in understanding them. Because when you understand, you no longer get stuck in irritation. You rise above it with grace. Your energy is one of the most valuable resources you have, and yet most people spend it carelessly. They hand it over to negativity, to arguments, to gossip, to irritation. But here's the truth. Every time you get angry at someone, every time you let yourself be bothered by nonsense, you're making a withdrawal from your own energy bank. And if you keep spending on the wrong things, you'll have nothing left for the right things. Your goals, your growth, your dreams. Think about it. If you had a treasure chest filled with gold, would you leave it unguarded? Would you let just anyone come and take handfuls from it? Of course not. You'd protect it. You'd guard it. You'd be selective about how it's used. Well, your energy is more valuable than gold, because with energy you can create wealth, build relationships, chase opportunities, and transform your life. Without it, even gold is useless. So you must learn to protect your energy. That means refusing to waste it on small arguments, petty conflicts, or negative people. Not every battle deserves your attention. In fact, most battles are traps designed to drain you. Remember this: you cannot climb a mountain if you stop to throw stones at every barking dog along the path. Protect your focus, protect your calm, protect your future. Some people thrive on pulling others into their chaos. They want you angry because it validates their anger. They want you upset because it justifies their drama. But you don't have to play that game. When you choose peace over conflict, silence over gossip, and focus over distraction, you're declaring, "My energy is too valuable to waste." That's a position of strength, not weakness. And here's the beauty of it: the more you protect your energy, the more powerful it becomes. Peace compounds. Calmness builds momentum. Soon, you'll find yourself moving faster toward your goals because you're not leaking energy into unworthy battles. Your relationships improve, your creativity expands, your productivity soars, all because you guarded the treasure of your energy. So treat your energy with respect. Use it wisely. Don't give it away to every irritation or every critic. Remember, your energy is the fuel of your destiny. Protect it like the treasure it is, and it will carry you further than you ever imagined. Life will always present you with situations that tempt you to react. Someone cuts in line, a colleague makes a careless remark, a family member pushes your buttons, and before you know it, anger is knocking on the door. Reaction is instant, it's emotional, it's raw. And while it may feel satisfying in the moment, it often leaves regret in its wake. A harsh word spoken in reaction can't be taken back. An impulsive decision can create long-term consequences. That's why wisdom says, always choose response over reaction. Response is different. Response is deliberate. Response comes from composure, from awareness, from discipline. Where reaction is driven by emotion, response is guided by principle. The person who reacts is a prisoner of circumstance, but the one who responds is the master of circumstance. And mastery is the goal. Think about the strongest leaders, the wisest teachers, the most respected individuals in history. They were not the ones who exploded at every insult or fought every minor battle. They were the ones who paused, who breathed, who measured their words, and who acted in alignment with their higher values. That pause is where strength lies. It may last only a second, but in that second lies the power to turn a conflict into peace, a mistake into a lesson, an enemy into a teacher. Choosing response over reaction doesn't mean you become passive. It doesn't mean you let people walk over you. It means you engage with life from a place of strength, not weakness. You address issues without losing your temper. You stand firm without being cruel. You correct without condemning. In short, you remain in control. And here's the reward. When you train yourself to respond instead of react, you gain respect, influence, and peace of mind. People notice the one who doesn't get rattled. They trust you more. They listen to you more. Why? Because your steadiness proves you are someone who cannot be easily shaken. And nothing is more powerful than being unshakable in a shaky world. So, the next time life tests you, and it surely will, remember this: you don't have to react like everyone else. You have the choice, you have the discipline, you have the power to respond with wisdom. And that choice, made again and again, will set you apart as someone who not only avoids anger, but lives with the calm strength of true mastery. My friends, the day you stop being angry at people is the day you truly win. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. Remember, people may throw stones, but you get to decide whether to build walls of bitterness or bridges of wisdom. Always choose peace, for peace is the soil where success grows.